So I'm taking a little time out um, in between cleaning my fish tanks, and I try to just go on divine timing. I don't try to rush through anything. I don't try to if I have a plan for the day and I'm like, okay, I got to get this, and this done, I'll start doing it. But if I need to sit my ass down, I'm gonna sit my ass down and that's it. Because sometimes, like right now, I sat myself down and randomly, I'm talking about, I'm on my fish tanks. I ordered a charger or a surge protector, and then all of a sudden I just get this thought process, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? That's right. So that's why I do that. Same thing with intuitive grocery shopping. You could be feeling some type of way. You go to the grocery store, you make a list, you go in the grocery store, and you get the stuff in the list, and you might cook the stuff that you get, but then still be craving something else or still just be unsatisfied. And that's because you're not intuitively grocery shopping. Your body knows what you need already. That's not to say that you're not going to crave sugar and stuff like that if you're OD eating too much sugar and things like that. But as you'll notice that you will still have cravings for things that are not even junk food, fast food, or any of that stuff. If you're living this healthy, clean lifestyle. And it's not to say that one is better than the other. It's to say that if you have a specific goal, let's say to not eat fast food or not eat too much junk food and whatever, and you have to kind of slowly wean yourself off of that. You can't just go cold turkey or you're gonna backslide. But even still, a lot of everything that they've told us is basically bullshit. Our whole entire lives, they told us that pork was bad for us. Meanwhile, pork is juicing people's joints. Pork has collagen in it. Why do you think everybody's eating pork belly now? Because they need collagen. And the first people that was eating pork belly after the Asians were white people. And white people, they're collagen lacking, okay? They're collagen lacking. So when you see them doing something, then you're like, why are they doing that? You look it up, you go, oh, because the pork belly has collagen in it, and them niggas are lacking in collagen. Period. Okay? So basically, you got to throw out most of what they've said about what is bad and what's whatever, because from my experience, I went just all green, and my body wasn't processing the vitamin K properly, and on top of that, I wasn't able to go to the bathroom, and the only things that were helping me go to the bathroom was fast food stuff, or not even just fast food stuff, even if I made it myself, more greasy, hearty, fatty stuff. And normally I would be like, oh my god, look at all this fat. I'm like, I'm eating it all. I don't give a shit now. Okay, now that's a little tangent, but that's my point of why I sat here right now, because I sat here and I'm sitting here thinking, I don't know if people remember, because a lot of people got into this after it already started, and they just kind of just went with it and that's it. But I was paying attention to it before it was really getting started and seeing who was doing what and whatever. So that's why I have this perspective. So get off of me. My perspective is, right now you see a lot of people, they've been losing money in crypto. You see and not just big name people, people with like private entities that are hoarding money for people and making investments in ETFs and crypto and stuff like that, or these banks that are going under, or that went under. They went under because they were invested in somebody who was fraudulent, right? Well, let's go back on the history of crypto. Crypto was created so that we could have another currency that was for us, global, but also decentralized, meaning not relying on the central bank. The central bank the World Bank. Not centralized, as well as not on the central bank, as well as not reliant on the World Bank. And it was doable. And it was making buzz because everybody was like, oh shit. Finally, we don't have to worry about the bullshit. Well, what they did was, what all the governments did was collectively, is that they took institutional funds, government funds, money that the taxpayer money, and then they poured it like all over there. That's why you had these banks talking about, oh, we'll do stuff, we'll give you loans for startups and this and that and da. They poured money into it because the way the stock market works, and this is its own market technically. The way the stock market works is you can make money on a bull market and you can make money on the opposite. So it doesn't matter whether you're making money or whether you're losing, whether the stock is gaining money or whether the stock is losing money. They getting money, okay? They gonna win. They winning. So the governments were like flat out, they want to get off the bank? They trying to get out the banks? Oh no, that's gonna trash our shit. Mind you, how logical is that when we have our market, Europe has their market, and everybody got their markets, everybody paying money, everybody's doing their thing. You got foreign exchange, every kind of different market that they got out here. They even got the black market. Okay, they even got all kind of markets. So they flat out, when they saw crypto, they saw it as such of an attack on them. And you know how narcissists are, okay? They'll be like, if I can't have you, nobody can, okay? Poured the money into it. Poured it into it. And now that opened the doorway for a lot of frauds who now we see are backed by banks that are over here. It's not like this guy got private funded from random ass people. He was backed by banks, which those banks are in the network of the people that we were trying to not be associated with, okay? And then on top of that, so they just basically made him a fall guy. They made him a scapegoat. Because at the end of the day, crypto was already slipping. Crypto was already, I mean, it was already crashing. It's been already crashing. It's like, you know, if, I'm trying to think, I got it. Crypto is crashing like a person that went on the ski slope that didn't know how to ski. They went on the most difficult trail that was out there. And they just went head first down it. Fuck it. All right. They hitting trees and they still falling. That's how crypto is falling. They not falling like they fell off a cliff. They not doing that. They falling and they hitting all the damn trees because we like trees. Okay. We out here, people paycheck to paycheck, they go, I don't know nothing about money like that. Let me get up in this crypto and see if I could supplement my income, do this and that. Some people even made their own. They're like, oh, fuck it, I'm gonna try, and hey, if it's gonna be a new market, let me get up in this market. All right. A lot of them were not backed by banks. A lot of them may have used their own money or whatever the case may be. Because there's so many. But what I can say and what it feels like and what it looks like is that was a very strategic financial war chess move. Okay? Because they could have stayed their ass where their ass has been invested in. They got markets all over this bitch that they could have invested their money in. That promising markets too. Promising markets. They even have a shitload of allies who have their own damn markets. They could invest it in that shit too. Why they had to go to the little fucking hipster niggas and the little techie dudes and women that are like, you know what, fuck this poverty shit. Fuck this control shit. We're tired of this bullshit, centralized fuck shit. And you know what? We're gonna make our own shit. Why they had to go after them? And then make this little tool looking guy that they gave money to. They gave the nigga money. And now, oh, everything's crashing, banks crashing, chaos, oh, the economy. Okay? And then who's responsible for that? They could claim that the fraud is responsible for that. The fraudulent guy, the CEO is responsible for that. But it was their money who was backing him. And they didn't have no business giving his ass no money for that shit. And then on top of that, once the shit got crashed, then they the ones who get the assets. They're the ones who get the assets and gets to sell the assets. They get the whole damn bank. Then they want to offer you what? A new currency system and a banking system. And we don't want it. We have not wanted it. We do not want it. You cannot be trusted. Okay? Clearly your ass can't be trusted. You're willing to crash a whole fucking market so that you can succeed while everybody else goes to shit. That's what you've been doing. So when I look at it, I'm like, they've been doing that. They've been doing that. They did it in the housing market. They was working with the banks in the housing market. They did it with the people that they gave small business loans to that were supposed to be developers, developing fucking places, and they weren't developing right, and then ended up giving predatory loans and turning it into a housing crisis. They've been doing this. They've been doing this. So when I'm looking at crypto, I'm like, I got my little Dogecoin. Doge to the moon, because I was only really playing around with it anyway. But I'm looking at it and I'm like, I made more money off of other things, the regular stock market. Have I? No, I actually made more money off Dogecoin. I ain't gonna lie. I made more money off Dogecoin. And that's only because I watched my shit. But even still, it would be, if you spent that time on the regular stock market, you spend that regular time in the stock market, you can make that money. Problem is that even if you make that money, because they're in control of every facet of that market, it doesn't matter if you make money on it, because you're freaking losing it in goddamn it groceries and gas and shit. So it's irrelevant what you're making. What does it matter if the fucking inflation is worse than, and then I don't even know. I don't even know what we're calling that now. I don't even know what the hell we're gonna call that. I'm percolating on it. I'm percolating on it. Dogecoin definitely could have been minting billionaires already. And that's not to say people involved in that coin are not doing what they doing and things like that. It's not to say that. It's not to say that. But the whole purpose of it being a free market is for you to jump in there, get your money, and get out. Jump in there, get your money, and then do what you can with it. They sat up there and just was like, let's fuck the whole shit up. What crypto is doing, even Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a fraction of what it was. And don't get me wrong, it was inflated a lot. But even if you discredit Bitcoin and you say, well, what do you had Ethereum, you had a lot of other things. Well, I don't know. I really am not sure which ones don't run off Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin is like the first. But if Bitcoin is Bitcoin, then obviously there could have been other ones. It's just everybody jumped on the damn Bitcoin coattails. Mind you, they could have been the ones financing the damn Bitcoin. Inflating it, because if they don't know how to do nothing, it's to inflate a motherfucking this cause inflation. Inflate the damn economy to a point where it's looking comical, looking like a fucking anime. Then all of a sudden when the shit comes crashing down, all these people, these lazy people, blaming everybody else. So that was what leads me to believe. And when I look at the institutional investors and Bitcoin and the things like Litecoin and the people that are off of Bitcoin, that's exactly what their asses are doing. Microsoft, all them niggas was invested. And technically, they're institutional investors because Microsoft is literally one of the major subcontractors of the United States government. All the companies that you see that invested, major Major contractors to the United States government and many other governments as well. What I call it is a setup. That's what I call it. That's a setup. That's a setup. And it doesn't affect them because they have the money to piss away. It affects the poorest of the poor people. Or the people that are, you know, middle class and they got money to spend, a little bit of money to spend, and they want to invest in and make more money. It affects them. You're the class that they're trying to erase. We're the class that they're trying to exterminate. Disabled people, people with disabilities, they trying to kill us. They trying to kill the elderly people. Middle class, they just trying to put you in poverty. That's what they trying to do. They trying to replace us with you. That's what they trying to do. And clearly they asses are on the verge of succeeding because middle class ain't about not there. And it's only a little tiny bit of y'all niggas that's getting into a new tax bracket. So intuitively, I felt I needed to sit my ass down and calm my spine down and relax myself. And my spirit was like, listen, you know about this damn Dogecoin? I'm like, what? You know about this damn cryptocurrency and shit? And I'm like, yeah. Because they say you crazy when you talk to yourself and you answer yourself. But when you have divine masculine feminine energy, you're gonna do it. Matter of fact, you might sit down and be thinking you just gonna sit down and rest your spine. Next thing you know, you got one consciousness over here like, let me ask you a question, da-da-da. And then your other side like, yeah. And then you're like, you go back and forth. You go back and forth because I'm sitting there like, well, I agree. I'm not arguing with myself. I agree that's a setup. I agree. Oh, now let's talk about it because that's what it is. I don't give a shit if you don't have spirituality or none of that shit. But the facts are the fucking facts. If you go back and you research that shit, that's what it's going to look like. I already did it. So I'm not going to post no fucking animation, show you none of that shit. I'm going to tell you though. I'm going to tell you who it is. And I'm going to tell you to go do your damn homework. And then I'm going to tell you, oh, when they talking all that shit, remember they the ones that did it. Remember they was the ones that did it.